This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, one person is dead and 10 injured after a crash between a car and a tourist bus near Kingston this morning. Health Minister David Clark's head for heights was tested as he tried a brand new chopper rescue tool. And an independent review of Aurora Energy has found some of its assets put the public at risk. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. State Highway 6 has reopened near Kingston after a crash between a car and a tourist bus left one person dead and 10 injured this morning. The two vehicles collided shortly before 7:30 a.m. on a notorious stretch of road.
A critically injured patient being flown to Dunedin Hospital by helicopter following a fatal crash near Kingston this morning. Police say the driver of a car was passing a truck when it collided with an oncoming tourist bus, instantly killing the car's passenger.
The bus has been travelling south on State Highway 6 out of Kingston towards the Fairlight direction and has crashed with a car travelling north.
The critical patient is believed to be the driver of the car. St John Ambulance say 3 passengers in the tourist bus suffered moderate injuries, while 6 have minor injuries. The collision reportedly happened next to the truck's driver door. Police say they're working through exactly what happened.
At this stage, too early to determine the cause of the crash. There's one fatality in the car, and another person in that car has been airlifted to Dunedin Hospital with serious injuries. People on the bus are uninjured and have been taken to Queenstown, and we're working through a scene investigation to determine the cause of the crash.
The accident follows another fatal crash involving a car and a tourist bus on the same stretch of road south of Queenstown 2 weeks ago.
People just have to drive, obviously, to the conditions and the speed, and again at this stage too early to determine the cause of the crash. But as you said, it's very tragic, especially involving tourists.
The road was closed for a time this morning, then reduced to one lane as authorities cleared the scene. In Queenstown, The South Today.
Meanwhile, 2 women have been injured in a 2-car crash on State Highway 1 at Waihola this afternoon. St John's say a 57-year-old woman has sustained serious injuries and has been airlifted to Dunedin Hospital. A 25-year-old has sustained moderate injuries and has been taken to Dunedin Hospital by ambulance. It's thought the women were in separate cars and both were trapped for a time after the crash. The road is blocked and diversions are in place. Motorists are asked to be patient. A 25-year-old woman left precariously placed on the edge of a cliff after falling from the headlands at Tunnel Beach has been rescued by a team of firefighters and paramedics. St John's say the woman fell on the steep walking track around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Her condition was initially reported as serious, but St John's say she was transported to Dunedin Hospital with moderate injuries. A team of 12 firefighters assisted in rescuing her from the ledge at the bottom of the Tunnel Beach track. They used rope harnesses to secure her on the cliff edge before she was lifted to safety. The woman, who remained conscious throughout, was carried to a waiting ambulance at the top of the track. Police say they were asked to coordinate a search and rescue response, including the Cliff Rescue Squad. Fresh from signing off on service provision agreements for air ambulance services, Health Minister David Clark has had a taste of the work they do. All existing rescue helicopter bases in the south will continue operating under a new agreement, with the state-of-the-art choppers also being introduced into the fleet.
Suspended in mid-air, Health Minister David Clark in the harness used by the Otago Rescue Helicopter Trust to lift patients into their choppers. A bit more of a hands-on experience with their ambulance issues than he was expecting.
The experience of getting winched below the helicopter was surprisingly enjoyable. I'm not normally fond of heights, but it was a pretty special experience.
Clark recently announced all existing rescue helicopter bases in the south will continue operating under a new agreement, with Queenstown set to have a dedicated rescue helicopter for the first time. He says the new joint venture between Helicopters Otago and GCH Aviation means a safer and better service.
There'll be 3 helicopters on duty in Dunedin full time, and across in Queenstown they're introducing a new service, so it's great for the region.
The new Eurocopter is faster, quieter and has better navigation equipment than its predecessors, and has more room for medical staff to work on patients.
I mean, this is the new technology. The bigger helicopters that they're fitting out to make sure that they can do the necessary emergency work in the back of the helicopter.
A second new helicopter set to join the fleet in July next year. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Members of the public immediately pitched in to help before emergency services arrived, following an out-of-control utility vehicle seriously injuring an electric wheelchair user in South Dunedin yesterday. The crash happened around 4:30 p.m. on King Edward Street. The southbound vehicle knocked down a couple of posts on the incorrect side of the road. It mounted the footpath before spinning backwards across the street and coming to rest. The person in the wheelchair was taken to Dunedin Hospital in a critical condition. Full details aren't yet available from police, but the serious crash unit is investigating. An independent review of Aurora Energy has found some of its assets put the public at risk. While the independent engineering review of the line's company network by WSP found most of its assets pose a low risk to public safety, there are some areas which need to be fixed.
A power network which has now been thoroughly reviewed. Michael Van Dornick of international engineering firm WSP says their independent review finds most of Aurora's assets pose a low risk to public safety.
There is some risk on all networks, so the idea is to reduce it as low as practicable. And in a couple of areas, so particularly with protection systems, found that had not quite yet been achieved, so there's some work to be done.
The review found there were 35 incidents in the past 4 years where power lines fell to the ground but remained live. Van Dornick says there's an issue with the older automatic relay switches failing to turn the power off.
We found that a significant proportion of relays are approaching their end of life. They were typically electromechanical type, which are the older technology, and we found approximately 50% of those relays pose a risk of not operating as intended.
He says the network's ageing substations also pose some risks to staff, especially in the case of the older style oil-filled circuit breakers.
The consequence of an oil insulated circuit breaker failing is it can cause a fire, and because they're full of oil, that becomes the fuel and that can propagate through the switchboard. So the consequence is predominantly a reliability consequence, as you won't be able to supply electricity. There is some safety consequence to field staff if they're there at the time of the failure.
The company plans to invest over $700 million on its ageing network in the next 10 years, which includes replacing poles, crossarms, overhead lines, as well as substation switchgear and protection systems. In Dunedin, for the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, Queenstown Ski Fields announced a $35 million investment project which features a new chondola. And we catch up with the newly announced leads from the Dunedin production of Wicked.
It's that time of year. It's time to get into the garden and it's time to get your weed eater. Down here at the Power Garden Department at Andersons Bay Road, this year it's all about the cordless weed eater. Come down and see us at Mighty 10 Mega and we'll help you get it done right.
Spring is here and it's time to get in the garden. Ready Lawn will take care of your lawn needs, making lawn care a snap. They will install the perfect lawn while you plant your favourite flowers and vegetables. Call Ready Lawn today so you can enjoy the coming season.
Electrify NZ Dunedin sell quality European designed e-bikes with reliable componentry so that you too can wear the e-bike grin. Call in for your complimentary test ride today or book online. Find us at 249 Cumberland Street, phone 021 035 9820.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's always really satisfying when a customer comes back after doing a purchase of outdoor furniture and knowing that we've got it done right.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Be inspired with home ideas, indoor and outdoor living this weekend. For delicious food inspiration, watch our very own local master chefs in action. Tickets on sale now.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
Welcome back. Hillside Workshop's job numbers in Dunedin could double to over 20 within a year after a government decision to refurbish North Island electric locomotives. KiwiRail says it expects the refurbishment of the 15 electric locomotives at KiwiRail's Hutt Valley workshops will create up to 8 extra jobs. Rail and Maritime Union General Secretary Wayne Butson says there's likely to be major indirect benefits for Hillside, which closed about 5 years ago. He says there are 12 KiwiRail staff working there now, and that could double within a year. The owner of Queenstown Ski Fields has announced a $35 million investment project featuring a Chondola, new lift and summer offerings. The Chondola will feature a mix of chairs and gondola cabins to replace the Coronet Express. NZ Ski Chief Executive Paul Anderson says the investment is massive. The major upgrades follow a bumper ski season, with operations up about 20%. Those not so keen on the cold will be able to check out Coronet in summer, with the company seeking to offer guided walks, sightseeing and mountain biking. Over at the Remarkables, the Sugar Bowl Basin is set to be redeveloped with a new high-speed 6-seater chairlift. The boost takes NZ Ski's total investment in Coronet Peak and the Remarkables to nearly $100 million since 2014. If you've heard witches cackling with glee around Dunedin last night, you may have mistaken it for a Halloween prank, but it wasn't. It was possibly the two women who've landed leading roles in a production of Wicked, the musical version of The Wizard of Oz.
Anna Langford and Hayley Lindham are celebrating after finding out they've been cast in the lead roles for Musical Theatre Dunedin's production of Wicked. It's the musical prequel to The Wizard of Oz, and the leading ladies were getting into character. The show's director Doug Camo says competition for the parts in the show has been fierce.
Come out of a weekend of auditions. We auditioned over 140, which arguably would be the largest audition that we've done, or casting call that we've done in Dunedin in many, many years. And we were looking for 34 people, so it was a pretty tough process. But I've got to say, in my experience of casting in Dunedin, the standard of auditions was just exceptional. We could have cast a B grade cast as well. You know, got our A grade and our B grade, so we could have cast it twice.
He says the production includes flying witches, magic and a live orchestra, and says the actresses are highly qualified for the roles.
So Hayley Carrick has got the role of Glinda. Hayley is a Dunedin girl, and she was last seen on stage as Christine in Phantom of the Opera. So she's coming back to the Regent Theatre, which is exciting for her and exciting for us. And then of course we've got Anna Langford, who hails from Riversdale of all places, but she's been a Dunedin girl for many years. She spent a lot of time over in London studying at Mount View Academy and on the West End, so she's back in Dunedin now, living here, and so she's been cast as Elphaba. Two very, very powerhouse vocalists, very strong performers, actors, true triple threats, and they'll bring those two roles to life for us.
The musical's told from the perspective of the witches, Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, played by Langford, and Glinda, the Good Witch, played by Lindham. Camo says this is set to be one of the biggest shows ever staged in Dunedin.
Wicked is a spectacle. In terms of Broadway spectacle, it doesn't get much bigger. The production that we're bringing here in terms of the set, wardrobe, props is of an exceptionally high calibre, as it has been over the last 5-6 years with the productions that we brought here. But Wicked is magical Disney on steroids in a lot of ways.
Wicked is set to open at the Regent Theatre in May next year. In Dunedin, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, the hills around Alexandra are alive with the sound of music, and we have tomorrow's weather for you, so stay with us.
Every Kiwi deserves a reliable garage door. Rely on Garrador to protect your important stuff. Just like Darren, his Garrador keeps his favourite ride in mint condition. We have a huge range at affordable prices. Visit our website for a free consultation. We stand behind every door.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
Active interior designer Mornington are the curtain and blind experts. The team can even advise you on outdoor products and will ensure that everything is perfect. For interior design with flair, call Active to book your free in-home consultation or call into the showroom in Mornington.
At Green Island Medical Centre, we are committed in caring for our future and present generations. We know as a young person, coming to the doctors can be quite daunting. Our highly skilled doctors and nurses will make your experience one where you will leave with a smile. Your health is very important to us.
Hello, it's Jeremy down here at Mighty 10 Mega in Andersons Bay. We've got 35 different lawnmowers down in our power garden department. We've got ride-on mowers, petrol mowers, battery operated mowers, push mowers. Did you know we've even got a robot, a little robot lawnmower that pops out during the day when you're at work or play. It'll pop out and mow your lawn. So come down and see me, Jeremy, down in the Power Garden Department at Mighty 10 Mega in Andersons Bay Road, where we'll help you get it done right first time.
For more than 50 years, Roslyn Mowers and Heating have been selling and servicing quality lawn mowers and outdoor power equipment. Bring your mower, chainsaw, garden equipment in for repair or service and you go in the draw to win a Husqvarna petrol line trimmer. See you in store soon.
Be inspired with home ideas, indoor and outdoor living this weekend. For delicious food inspiration, watch our very own local master chefs in action. Tickets on sale now.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
I just like it. It's something that you can see the fruits of your own labour. You put it right now, you don't have as much to do at Christmas. You come see me, Derek, in the garden department, and then we get it done right.
Motor Trade Finance proudly brings you Rural Delivery. A look at the places and faces behind New Zealand agriculture. Tuesday evenings 8:30, repeating Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday afternoons 4:30.
Thanks for staying with us. Dunedin firefighters were deployed today to help a person whose hand was stuck in a letterbox. Fire and Emergency New Zealand say they received the call after a Forbury resident accidentally wedged their hand in a Loyalty Street letterbox. A crew from Lookout Point Fire Station got to work and freed the person shortly after 10. There were no reports of injuries. Alexandra is holding its first busking festival this week as part of the annual Alexandra Time Festival. The opening act saw Central Otago's Mayor Tim Cadogan perform some old favourites.
Performing music on the streets of Alexandra, Central Otago Mayor Tim Cadogan sings a John Denver hit as the opening act of the inaugural Alexandra Buskers Festival. The Busking Festival is part of the annual Alexandra Time Festival.
The Time Festival focuses on various things like wellbeing and art and creativity, and we felt that the Buskers Festival slotted into that sort of theme quite nicely.
The festival also encourages performers who might have less confidence in Mayor Cadogan.
We thought that it would be a really nice opportunity to liven up the streets of Alex, but also give young people the opportunity to perform and you know, in a situation that they quite possibly haven't done so before.
It's hoped that busking might become a common sight on the streets of Alexandra over the summer.
And I'm just hoping that from there that they'll carry on and maybe be brave enough to come out during the weekend on a Saturday or something, whatever, through the summer, put a bit of music in the street.
And it's not just guitarists who are strutting their stuff in this week's festival.
We've got bands, we've got bagpipes, we've got the Maniatoto Area School Stilt Walkers. I'm fairly sure we have the Terrace School choir, and yeah, so all sorts of different things, a very eclectic mix of entertainers.
Mayor Cadogan spoke positively about his time on the streets.
It's great to just see people wandering along the street, stopping, everyone having a smile or maybe even a laugh, I don't know, but people seem to be enjoying themselves.
32 solo and group acts are set to feature in the festival, which runs until Friday. In Alexandra for the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. One person is dead, another is in critical condition and 10 injured after a crash between a car and a tourist bus near Kingston this morning. Health Minister David Clark's head for heights was tested as he tried a brand new helicopter rescue tool after announcing upgrades to airborne rescue services. And an independent review of Aurora Energy has found some of its assets put the public at risk and the lines company needs to address some issues. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome Craig Page.
Good evening. Yeah, we've got more on the fatal accident in Kingston this morning. We're also revealing that there had been earlier concerns about the safety at that section of road. I think a couple of weeks ago, another man was killed after colliding with a bus in the same section. That prompted community leaders to approach NZTA to try and address some safety concerns in the area. We've spoken today to Queenstown Mayor Jim Bolt, who's also concerned with summer coming up, lots of traffic on the roads, and really thinks that road safety needs to be a priority in that area. So a lot of pressure going on. Yeah. We've also got an interesting story about some drama on Dunedin coastline today. A German tourist slipped onto a ledge while out at Tunnel Beach and was pretty close to tumbling into the sea below. A team of firefighters and ambulance officers had to rescue her. 12 of them, I think, helped get her off the area. She was taken to hospital with moderate injuries. Now our photographer, Chief Photographer Stephen Jacker, who was there, and managed to capture some pretty spectacular photos, which will be in tomorrow's paper and well worth buying the paper just to look at those. We've also got a nice interview with local motocross star Courtney Duncan. She tells of the heartbreak of missing out on a world title this year. She was 21 points clear with 4 rounds to go, looked to shoe in, and then injured a foot and had to pull out of the series. Ruptured ligaments, still causing her grief, but she's pretty determined to get back there and compete. She's already shown she's one of the fastest competitors in the circuit. It's just a matter of lasting the distance, I suppose. We've followed her really since she's been a young kid. She's done some amazing things, and I think it's only a matter of time before she has some success on the world stage.
Well, wishing her a speedy recovery as well.
Certainly do.
Lovely, so you can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by MoleMap.
Tonight's southern view is of pretty pink flowers in front of First Church. Looking at the situation, the cold weather is on the way out after a chilly night tonight, with milder northwesterly airflow expected to develop tomorrow and increase over the weekend to bring strong winds and possible gales to much of the south. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect cloudy conditions and a high of 16 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson is cloudy with a high of 17 and prepare for high cloud in Blenheim and a slightly warmer high of 18 degrees. And to Canterbury, a cloudy day for Kaikoura with a high of 16 degrees. Christchurch also grey and 15, and Ashburton the pick of this bunch on 17 with just a smattering of cloud. Looking at the southern towns, Catlins, Balclutha, Gore and Lumsden are in for strong northwesterlies, followed by rain later, and 14 to 15 degree highs for all of you. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes area, expect freshening northwesterlies, cloud increasing and highs of 17 in Wanaka, 18 in Alexandra and a cooler 15 in Queenstown and Tiana. Your northwesterlies are the strongest and you're expecting a high of 14 degrees. Looking at the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru can expect moderate northeasterlies, high cloud increasing and a high of 14 and for Oamaru and 15 for Timaru. Freshening moderate southwesters and fine for Oamaru and Twizel, a high of 17 degrees for you both. And in Dunedin, fine with some cloud tonight with an overnight low of 5 degrees. Sunny periods at first tomorrow, but cloud increases during the afternoon with some rain from early evening. Northeasterlies will become fresh and gusty, a high of 14 and a low of 9. Fresh gusty north to northwesterlies on Saturday with cloudy skies and outbreaks of light rain and a high of 21 degrees, perfect for the South Dunedin Street Festival. And in Invercargill, mild and northwesterlies freshening tomorrow, becoming strong later in the day. Cloud increases during the day with rain developing by late afternoon, a high of 14 and a low of 9. Cloudy with periods of rain on Saturday and strong to near gale force northwesterlies, looking at a high of 15 degrees and a low of 10. That wraps up our news for this Thursday. For the latest news from the Southern region, head online and follow us on Facebook, YouTube and at channel39.co.nz, as well as odt.co.nz. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.